8th standard social science economics unit 2 public and private sectors and lesson on the book back answers பார்ப்போம். Roman letter 1, choose the correct answer. First one, the public sector in India owes its origin in the dash industrial policy resolution of the government of India, and answer option D 1956. Second one, mixed economy is the mixture of merits of both dash. Answer option C, A and B are correct. Third one, dash is governed by a company law and controlled by the government as a principal major shareholders. Answer option B, joint sector. Fourth one, public sector is on dash motive. Option B, service motive. Roman letter 2, fill in the blanks. First one, the dash and dash are allotted their respective roles in promoting the economic welfare of all sections of the community, public sector and private sector. Second one, the private sector is on dash motive, profit motive. Third one, dash is the process of social and economic development in a society. Answer socio-economic development. Fourth one, the main functions of private sector is to create dash and dash, innovation, modernization. Fifth one, the government is committed to strengthening dash and cooperation among the citizen, understanding. Roman letter 3, match the following. First one, think tank, NITI Ayog. Second one, agriculture, primary sector. Third one, industries, secondary sector. Fourth one, GDP, gross domestic product. Fourth Roman letter, which is the odd one? First one, which one of the following is not the indicator of the socio-economic development? Answer option A, black money. Fifth Roman letter, which of the following is a correct answer? First one, the industries which would be exclusively owned by the state are referred to as Schedule A. The industries in which the private sector could supplement the efforts of the state sector, with the state taking the sole respectively for starting new units which are specific in Schedule B. Third point, the remaining industries which were in the private sector are not mentioned in schedule. For this answer, option C is the answer. 1 and 2 are correct. Roman letter, answer in briefly. First one, write short note on public sectors. Answer. First point, the sector which is engaged in the activities of providing government goods and services to the general public is known as public sector. Second point, the enterprises, agencies and bodies are fully owned, controlled and run by the government, whether it is central government, state government or a local government. Second one, what does the society want? Answer, the society wants rapid industrialization of the economy as the main key to economic development, improving living standards and economic sovereignty. Third one, write the objectives of public sector. Answer, the objectives of public sector. First point, to promote rapid economic development through creation and expansion infrastructure. Second point, to generate financial resources for development. Third point, to promote redistribution of income and wealth. Fourth point, to create employment opportunities. Fourth question, what are the three organs of public sectors? Answer, the three organs of public sectors are, first point, administration by a government department. Second point, the joint sector companies. Third point, public corporation. Fifth question, name some indicators that measure socio-economic development. Answer, socio-economic development is measured with indicators such as GDP, life expectancy, literacy and level of employment. Sixth question, write short note on private sector. Answer, first point, the segment of a national economy that is owned, controlled and managed by private individuals or enterprises is known as private sector. Second point, the private sector companies are divided on the basis of sizes. Third point, they can be created in two ways. Example, either by the formation of a new enterprises or by the privatization of any public sector enterprise. Seventh question, name any three major private sector industries. Answer, Infosys. Second point, Aditya Birla Company. Third point, Tata Group of Companies. Seventh Roman letter, answer the following in detail. First one, explain the organs of public sector. First point, administration by a government department. Option A, it is very common almost in all countries. Then option B, example, post and telegraph, railways, port trust, irrigation projects on India, etc. Second point, the joint sector companies. Option A, it is governed by a company law and controlled by the government as the principal major shareholders. Then second point, example, Indian Oil Petronas Private Limited, Indian Oil Sky Tanking Limited, Ratnagiri Gas and Power Private Limited, Indian Synthetic Rubber Limited. Third one, public corporation. First point, this type of organization is the establishment of public corporation by the state of the parliament of legislature. Then second point, example, LIC, Air India, the Reserve Bank of India, Electricity Board. Second question, write briefly, explain the history of public sector. Answer, history of public sector. First point, when India achieved independence in 1947, it was primarily an agricultural country with a weak industrial base. It is established for their own economic interest and ruled the subcontinent with brute force. Then second point, the first industrial policy resolution announced in 1948 laid down broad contours of this tragedy of industrial development. Third point, the Planning Commission was formed in March 1950 and the Industrial Act was enacted in 1951. Fourth point, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru believed that the establishment of basic and heavy industry was fundamental to the development and modernization of the Indian economy. Then fifth point, his vision was carried forward by Dr. V. Krishnamurthy and the Indian statistician Mahalanobis. Then sixth point, the 1991 industrial policy allowed greater freedom to the private sector and for foreign direct investment was invited from business house outside India. Seventh point, those multinational corporations gained entry into the Indian economy. Then eighth point, those we have public sector units, private sector enterprises and multinational coexisting in Indian economy. Third question, explain any five measured indicators of socio-economic development. Answer, first point, gross domestic products, GDP. First point, GDP supports in developing socio-economic development. Then second point, the proportion of GDP by the industrial sector, both private and public sector, has been increased. And third point, it result increasing government funds and increase public spendings. And second point, life expectancy. The first point, the life expectancy in India is 65.80 years for men and 68.33 years for women. Then second point, government provide high degree of health measures through National Health Protection Scheme and serves poor and vulnerable families. Third point, literacy. First point, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan SSA implemented for making free and compulsory education to the children of 6 to 14 years with life skills. Then second point, the government also introduced RMSA, smart class, e-learning, free computer skill classes and digital India for increasing the level of quality in education. Fourth point, employment. The first point, a growing number of people moved urban areas in search of employment. Second point, hence government started the smart city with many facilities to encourage people to take up employment in these places. Third point, the government encouraged private sectors to start an industry in backward area by providing tax benefit electricity at a lower tariff, etc. Fifth point, provision of house, clean drinking water and sanitation. Government sector provide housing facilities, clean drinking water facilities and sanitary facilities under Clean India planning. Fourth question, what are the importance of public sector? Answer, public sector plays a major role in the development of any economy. It has following importance. First point, public sector and capital formation. The role of public sector in collecting savings and investing them during the planning period has been very important. Second point, economic development. Option A, economic development mainly depend upon industrial development. Second point, heavy and basic industries like iron and steel, shipping, mining, etc. are required for supplying raw material to small industries. Third point, balanced regional development. Public enterprises have developed the backward area, thereby bringing about complete transformation in the social economic life of the people in these regions. Fourth point, employment generation. First point, public sector has created millions of jobs to tackle the unemployment problem in the country. Then second point, the number of persons employed during the year 2011 was 150 lakh. Fourth point, export promotion and foreign exchange earning. First point, some public enterprises have done much to promote India's export. Second point, the State Trading Corporation STC, the Minerals and Metals Trading Corporation MMTC have done very well in export promotion. Fifth point, protection to sick industries. First point, public sector takes over the sick industries and prevent many people from getting unemployed. Second point, it also prevents unnecessary locking of capital, land, building, machinery, etc. And fifth point, import substitution. First point, some public sector enterprises were started specifically to save foreign exchange. Second point, the ONGC, the Indian Oil Corporation Limited, the Bharat Electronic Limited, etc. have saved foreign exchange by way of import substitution. Fifth question, write the differences between public and private sector. First one, public sector. Ownership of industries is with government. Private sector ownership of the industries is with private individuals. Second point, public revenue depend upon levy of taxes on income and commodities and services. Uh, Private issuing shares and debentures or by taking loan. Third point, public sector ensures the proper wages. Private sector exploits the workers. Fourth point, it does not allow to concentrate huge wealth in few hands or rich people. It allows concentrate of huge wealth in few hands or rich people. Fifth point, public sector industries example NLC, SAIL, BSNL. Private sector industries example TVS Motor, Ashok Leyland, Tata Steel. Sixth point, no tax evasion. Tax evasion is possible. Seventh point, it is service oriented, it is purely profit oriented. Eighth point, reservation are implemented, priority is given to the socially backward people, it does not care the socially backward class. Reservation is not followed. Sixth question, write the functions of private sector. Answer, functions of private sector are given below. First point, the main function of private sector is to create innovation and modernization. Second point, develop and maintain infrastructure and services. Third point, promote and expand existing business. Fourth point, promote human capital development to help vulnerable groups. Fifth point, promote small, micro, and medium enterprises SMME through supply side measured and demand side measured and attract investment in the city. Then sixth point, the government has fixed a specific role to be the private sector in the field of industries, trade, and service sector.